My favorite of the fighting games are like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Marvel vs. Capcom, but my favorite is definitely Mortal Kombat. I have a Mortal Kombat necklace right here.
Right. Do you only game and play with other people, or a little bit of both?
It depends on the game. Like Mario Party, absolutely. Guitar Hero, absolutely. But I'm not reaching out to go grab like a Spider-Man game or things like that. Fighting games are harder because sometimes I don't want to play with other people, and if I do, I want them to actually be good at the game.
What advice would you give to someone interested in attending a local fighting game center for the first time?
Oh wow, that's a great question. It's
also WWE All-Stars. I love that.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, I do. I'm gonna definitely replace WWE with WWE All-Stars. That was a great. That's a fantastic.
Yeah, the one with 360 and they were super buff.
Family members watching this, I would like my DSi back, please. I know it's been years, but I want it back.
All right, now this is my favorite part, and this is the last one. Who is better, Michael Jackson, Prince? Yeah, I know, right? I'm chilling in my room, as you can see, but yeah, I'm glad you guys are, hanging out with me today. So glad to get started, man.
So I'm Xavion, Excellence, musician, podcast host, audio editor.
Hello, my name is Ailisha. I am an artist. Like, I do kind of all the arts except for dance. Like, that's a private thing.
So we're the hosts of the XXC Podcast, where we talk about pop culture. Lately, we've been doing D&D podcasts.
Mainly nerd culture, too. Lots of games, from our vocal perspective, So, yeah. Sometimes we talk about... I feel like nerd culture covers everything from like games to comic books, all that stuff. So, and sometimes we sprinkle in like some like real world stuff, but not just to keep us aware. I did come up with a few questions since we did talk about that. I'm more of a like open world RPG type gamer, and I don't get to game that much. So I'll be asking questions from like a beginner, intermediate point of view in terms of fighting games. Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. Well, I'll introduce myself as well. As you know, my name is DJ, but usually people call me DoLove9. That is my tag for a lot of the games. And what I do is I have me and some other, people. We have a fighting game local in our area in Lancaster. We pretty much are trying to show a premier fighting game local besides Smash Brothers. In our town, it's a college area. Smash is very popular. So, but there was no Street Fighter or Tekken or Guilty Gear Granblue or anything like that, unless you went to like an anime convention or anything like that. So we started our own. Well, it started years ago. The person who used to run it decided to leave. We took it over because of COVID and stuff. So. And then we revamped it, rebranded it, got some new logos and stuff, and we're where we are at today. And I've been trying to get other people involved, which is why we got people like you two here today. And I think I came across your I guess yourselves through Instagram, and one of the things that intrigued me was the gaming, but also the wrestling. So definitely get into that as well. So first off, if you guys like to explain how you guys got started, I would love to hear more about that.
Well, it was a little bit post-COVID, like 2021, I want to say.
I think it was the summer of George Floyd.
Yeah, the summer of George Floyd. And I was trying to figure out how to still put myself out there while I was still slowly working on music. So I started just talking to myself for podcasts.
Wrote out a script and everything. You would send it to like group of people, and I was a part of that, and I would like read it and be like, oh, you should add this. This is smart. It was it was cool.
Yeah. So sometimes at the beginning I would throw in like some Black history, and then talk about movies and TV reviews. And then as through time, I made you the co-host, and we just talk about pop culture reviews, gaming.
Right. Yeah. I was really happy when XXC wanted to be. What was the first like episode that you asked me to be a part of?
I believe it was the Suicide Squad one.
I think so. After we had cosplayed and everything. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Oh wow.
I was really honored to be a part of this XXC podcast because I'm his biggest fan. This is my best friend. When I'm on the podcast, I usually like bring like more of a. I usually bring like books because I'm a big book nerd. Usually, you know what? Yeah, I was trying to think of a better way to like describe it, but I think I bring in like different games, like different games or topics that aren't usually covered because I'm not really like online like that. It hurts my eyes, to be honest. And like I love gaming. I love the escapism of it. That's why I love like open world RPG games. But it hurts my eyes, so like, I don't get to do it often.
You bring the comical side to the podcast.
I do. And it's so funny because if you go through any of the old episodes, a lot of the games that he would be like, what kind of games are you playing, Punky Al? And I'd be like, I'm playing like this really old game called, what was the first one? I think it was Playtime, or no, it was Horizon. And then it was so cool to see like the trending of, oh, I'm playing this old game that everyone probably knows. And it's new to me. And then, like, maybe like a year or two later, everyone's like, okay, this has been revamped. It's better. So it's been fun being a new gamer. Everything is like, only have to wait a little bit, you know? As opposed to the crowd that's been waiting for years. No offense, but I'm just...
Oh, wow. Man, yeah, I know I'm old. I have to wait a while for stuff. But to be fair, I would say I'm a gamer, but I'm not like... I have a niche kind of category. Like I don't tap into everything. Okay, so RPGs, not really my thing. However, I did play Final Fantasy X when I was growing up. I tried Xenoblade. I didn't like the battle system. There was a game called Warframe. I don't know if that counts. And then, like Fire Emblem.
I haven't played it. I was interested in the new Warframe coming up.
Yeah, it wasn't for me. I didn't like it at all. Absolver, didn't like it. But there have been some weird ones like cooking games. Order Up, like it's
Overcooked?
Hilarious. Yeah, Overcooked, yes.
Love Overcooked. It drives me wild, bro. I have to take a break. I'm taking like a 3-month break because like sometimes I'll go hard and then I'll be stuck for a week. And I'm the type of person with like my anger. It takes a lot to make me angry. And when I'm angry, I gotta walk away before I throw something.
Yeah, I know. Because people don't follow instructions, man. My mom likes cooking games, so that's probably why I play them a lot. Me and my brother were pretty much the gamers of the house, but she wanted to find a way to see if she could try and play with us, but there were games that she couldn't like really play, like Guitar Hero, SmackDown vs. Raw, things like that. So she found this Food Network game that she loved because she loves cooking, and me and her actually played it a lot. So, but gaming in general, I primarily stick to, I don't know, it's either got to be something I really already know how to play, or it's like somebody has to be in it, that I'm willing to get it, and I'll decide if it's trash or not. And it's really gone that way for years.
Are you a social gamer?
Am I a social gamer? Like, do I like playing with other people?
Right. Do you only game and play with other people, or a little bit of both?
It depends on the game. Like Mario Party, absolutely. Guitar Hero, absolutely. But I'm not reaching out to go grab like a Spider-Man game or things like that. Fighting games are harder because sometimes I don't want to play with other people, and if I do, I want them to actually be good at the game. So, but other than that, I'm like in that gray area where I'll play a game with other people if it's like interesting, but most of the time I'm not seeking out to get like single player type games. But what are your favorite types of games now that you tapped into that for the both of you?
You go first. I gotta think about it. I gotta think about my list.
Well, I play all in games, but I have to say I do like fighters. I did like Overwatch 1, but not Overwatch 2. My favorite of the fighting games, I like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Marvel vs. Capcom, but my favorite is definitely Mortal Kombat. I have a Mortal Kombat necklace right here.
Oof.
I haven't played 1 as much, but X is my favorite. I do like the Spider-Man game. I do like Batman Arkham. Arkham City is the best. Gears of War trilogy. That's about my favorite games. What's your favorite fighting games?
Yeah.
Mine? Okay, so I have the definitive number one that can't be beat is Tekken 5, the original. There was a DR version, but that's there's nothing really was added. But Tekken 5 is my absolute favorite fighting game. After that, I would say Naruto Ninja Storm, if I can count those. And I actually, if I had to choose like a third option that wasn't like a wrestling game, because I don't know if those count, I would choose. There's a game called J Stars Victory Versus. It's the way that I describe it is anime Smash Brothers with Shonen Jump characters, and it's better than Jump Force. I will say that it's better than Jump Force. But I played that game a lot when it came out, especially when I was a freshman in college.
What was your favorite WWE games growing up?
SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, and I think I'm gonna put SmackDown vs. Raw 2006 on there solely because you could steal people's finishers no matter who they were. So you could have Andre the Giant do the 619. I thought that was hilarious. And then I think the third one that was my favorite was WWE 12. I don't like the 2K games at all, but WWE 12 was the best one before they transitioned to that era.
Yeah, for me, I grew up later, like 2000 SPR 2008 to 11 and WWE 12. I like 12 mostly for the story, and then I skipped and played WWE 2K16 just for Stone Cold Showcase. Those are my favorite. But I just recently, last month, got 2006. I like it. I definitely see why people say that, and 2007 is the best.
Yeah. It's
Also WWE All Stars. I love that.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, I do. I'm gonna definitely replace W12 with W All Stars. That was a great. Yeah. That's a fantastic.
Yeah, the one with 360 and they were super buff.
I like the Fantasy Warfare, and then the broken combos you could do. Yeah, it was amazing. It was fantastic. I wish they did something. They tried to do something like that, but I guess lightning in a bottle type stuff.
I think my favorite games. Well, it's important for me to mention when I actually got a console, a newer console, because I used to be a Nintendo girl, and then my family had issues with taking things that don't belong to them.
Oh man.
Yeah, but I was yeah. If I see you know who I'm talking about, family member. But my bestie, she got me a PlayStation 4 Pro. Like, was that 2020?
But you,
Yeah, I think it was COVID year. And so I got to finally start playing games. And I think my favorite would be the entire like Life is Strange franchise. Like I have almost all of them. I haven't played all of them, but I played like the first one. I'm halfway through the second one, which is like I said, I've already said it, but like I love storylines. I'm a storyteller, so it makes sense that I would want to be, you know what I'm saying? As you mentioned, Horizon Zero Dawn. I haven't played Horizon Forbidden West yet, but I have it. I love Uncharted. I played it with my siblings when I was younger. The same reasons. I love exploring. The storyline was like, wow. I know that there's a newer one. I haven't checked it out. There's like, if I'm playing with X, I enjoy playing Street Fighter. Street Fighter is one of the fighting games I'm kind of good at. I need to buy it and then put some work into it. X also put me onto Streets of Rage 4, which I did like.
yeah, not really a fighting game, but it's a
I did like it. Yeah.
it's beat 'em up, so almost takes away from fighting games.
Kind of. Yeah. And right now I'm enjoying Diablo 3, which is so yeah. That's all I got so far.
Also, the Brawlhalla.
Oh yeah. Well, I put the Brawlhalla when I was.
That's a weird one. Well, so with that being said, with you being very story driven into games like that, has there been any games that you have wanted to play that had a super compelling like story, but it was way older that you've never played before? Like something from like my generation?
I don't know what you mean by your generation, since we all look the same here.
So I'm almost 30, and so my generation would be like, PS1, PS2, things like that, or GameCube, I guess, if you want to put that in there. Since you're like the Nintendo.
I still got the PS2 stuff.
I mean, the Wii.
I'd say
I still got my Wii.
I still,
I
got that.
Remember Wii? I was killing it with all the like Just Dance Jones. My favorite was the Michael Jackson.
I have that, by the way.
Bloodborne is a game that I keep seeing on sale, but it's hard. Like it is above my level because I don't play regularly. If I played regularly, then I would be able to like build my skill up. You know what I'm saying? But I play like irregularly. Hopefully, when I get my Steamdeck, that will change. But I've followed. So I love ASMR, and my ASMR dude, he does a lot of weird stuff. And one of it is doing like playthroughs of different games, and he was the one who put me onto Horizon Zero Dawn. You get what I'm saying? I was like, yo, this is really good. He was the one who put me onto Diablo. I was like, you know what? I played it because he played it, and he's an old dude online. It's fun stuff, but Bloodborne is one that I'm really interested in. I've watched several gameplays, but not finished them because I don't like spoiling stuff for myself. I'm gonna play it at some point, but it looks out of my league right now. Yeah.
Game for me, I'd say to this day, is still one Def Jam fight for New York. I've seen the cutscenes, the gameplay. I tried to look for it. It's $200 on GameCube. I almost had it at a Western Game Store. I still can't get it.
Oh, that's crazy.
The story is
I love to play that.
That is a game that I also have. So hopefully I'll come over there and hook up the PS2 and let you play, as long as you don't play freaking Suspect, because he's broken. His stats are maxed. I play Henry Rollins just because I like rock music. I didn't know who any of the rappers were, so I played with my friend John.
Where's Henry Rollins from? It's a Black Flag or
Rollins Band. Is there any games that you absolutely don't like? Because for me, I have a bunch of those. One of those, unfortunately for you, being Mortal Kombat. I do not like Mortal Kombat at all.
He knows I don't like Mortal Kombat because I'm one of those girls who don't like the unnecessary, it's unnecessarily gory for me. So I'm like, I can't. I can do straight Street Fighter, but I won't do Mortal Kombat.
No.
I know it breaks your heart.
It's fine.
For me, the reason why I don't like Mortal Kombat, except for this Deadly Alliance, I like that one. I don't like Mortal Kombat as a series because first the gameplay is kind of wonky. I don't like the block. I don't like having a block button. I like holding back. It feels natural. And most of the time, I think the success of Mortal Kombat is really only because of the fatalities. So once you get like you see those YouTube compilations of just every fatality, that's pretty much done for me. I'm sure it has a great story, an interesting cast, even though, with like Peacemaker and Joker and Omni Man and stuff. But it just doesn't it's not enough for me to like want to invest in it. Plus a lot of zoners. I don't like zoners.
What are
So
those?
zoners, people that can attack you from a distance and you have
Oh,
to work hard to close the distance essentially. It's not a fun way to
Like
play,
Deathstroke and Injustice.
basically, yeah. But so that's one of many for me. But for what
I
would you guys say?
I I like the block button, but I understand Mortal Kombat is a little bit stiff. Black Okage has commented on that as well, and that's why he says like Street Fighter is more the better FGC.
mm. I haven't played Stay. Game with the cat.
Right?
Oh
Stray.
yeah, Stray.
Whatever. It makes
Yeah.
me mad. It makes me upset. I understand that like the gaming industry is trying to appeal to everyone. That game, its existence makes me upset. And I do love cats, but like I can play with a cat. I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna stop here. That's the only one I can think of off the top of my head. I'm like, and I first heard of it, I was just like, no, I don't know if I'm a fan. I don't know if I'm a fan.
It's hard to pick a game I hate. I go with this like maybe can I say Doom? Because I kind of like Doom, but it's sensory overload. I don't know. It's hard to pick. I never thought about this. All the games I hate.
I have Hollow Knight, and it is extremely hard, so I don't play it as often, and I kind of hate it right now because it's super hard. And I don't like looking up on YouTube. Okay, how do you do this? Like
Oh
I
yeah.
will try, and then I'll give it a break. And then after trying and then coming back from the break, and I still don't get it. All right, then I'll look up. Okay, how do I get past this level on YouTube? Because I don't put in the work. I try.
Actually, I take it back. I feel like I hate Souls like game. I do want to learn Elden Ring, but I've tried Lies of P demo, hated it. I got close in Demon Souls, hated it. Bloodborne, still in the beginning, so it's like a hard genre to get into.
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Yes, please.
So, what advice would you give to someone interested in attending a local fighting game center for the first time?
Oh wow, that's a great question. And this is a question I really don't get to answer a lot, but I've always thought about. So, if a person is fairly new to fighting games, let's say they just bought, Street Fighter 6 or Tekken 8 or anything like that, and they genuinely enjoy playing the game and haven't really experienced competitive esports in general, and they find a local and they go to one, I would say the first thing that you should expect in terms of what to do to make sure you have a good time, instead of advice, because that's, you don't have to be good at the game to go. I think that's number one. Don't feel like you have to be, like a super high rank to compete. But to really to maximize your enjoyment is to make sure that you are playing with like a lot of people, not just like one. You're sitting at one setup with one person, and you do other things, because a lot of times, what I see from my experience, being in a multiple arcades and stuff, a lot of people really focus on the competition aspect, especially with Smash Brothers. A lot of people really just focus on like, man, I can't wait for this to start up. I got to get my hands warm. I want to focus on this matchup. I want to get on stream. Like, they don't really go to like just, you know, play the game and have fun and stuff like that. Now, and you know, reasonably so, but these are people that have been going there for years and don't know how to turn it off. You know, sometimes you got to turn it on, turn it off. But for the first time, just like, hey, nice to meet you. I'm, you know, so and so. Can I play with you? What does this character do? You know, ask questions. The second thing I would advise you to do is try and you know, don't feel like you. The nice way to put this is, don't feel like you have to like fit in, I guess is the best way I can say it. If you know that you feel like you're out classed, you know, you're like the only one that isn't like experienced, don't feel like you have to pretend that you know the game. Just, you know, present like you're the new person, you don't know what you're doing. People will act accordingly. They're not going to go crazy on you. It's not 2010 anymore. You know, they're not going to, you know, be hard on you like they used to. Especially when I started going to stuff, and I didn't really know what competitive video games were until I got to school. Like, I used to play Brawl a lot. Like, I played the items on and stuff like that. So when I got to school and people were saying like, oh, we don't play with the Smash Ball on, or you can't play with the sideways Wii remote. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're very harsh. So just make sure you find different people to talk to get comfortable, and then always come back. You know, we always want to see you come back because it shows that we're doing something right, and that we can like help you, you know, and then eventually you can get good at the game, and then you can start like making upsets. You know, that's what I would say for someone that's trying to get in and they just started and don't feel quite comfortable in that space.
Thank you. Awesome.
Favorite fighting game by every console era, and this one's going to be a little different. Like the PS2, GameCube era, PS3 360, PS4, Xbox One, and then the PS5, Xbox Series era.
Okay.
I know that one's a different.
No, that's a cool question. I would have never thought of that. Okay. So, PS1. It's a tie between, for me, Ready to Rumble 2, I think, is the one with Michael Jackson in it, or Tekken Tag 1. PS2, like I said, Tekken 5. Surprise, I never actually had a PS3 or an Xbox because I had a Wii, and but to be fair, I do have a PS3 now, and if I had to choose, I would choose Tekken Tag 2. But for the Wii, Super Smash Bros. Brawl. PS4, I'm going to choose Tekken 7 because that was the first game that got me into tournaments and esports. Well, okay, besides Smash Brothers, that was the first game that got me into esports. And then PS5, it's probably just going to be Tekken 8 since that's the only fighting game that's for PS5 right now that I actively play. I have Street Fighter 6. I love Marissa, but I don't play it enough to like really say like that's amazing to me.
I don't have a PS1, but for the PS2 era, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, PS3 360, Mortal Kombat 9, PS4 era, Mortal Kombat X, but I would put Street Fighter 5 a second. And then PS5 era, Street Fighter 6.
Well, I guess I'll add on like Nintendo days.
Yeah, please. I have Nintendo stuff too.
Okay, cool. I actually remind me where I'm going because I get like I think chaotically, so I speak chaotically. I'm trying to do better with that. I have like papers and stuff to keep me organized. But
You're good.
help me out if I get all over the place. All right.
Are you taking Nintendo for fighting games?
So before that, I still have my Nintendo 3DS XL. That was the very last like Nintendo I had. I still have it, and I plan on like hiring another friend of mine to mod it for me. Because have you heard about that? Like people are modding their 3DS XLs,
Yeah.
whatever. You get what I'm saying? I think the most games I played on my like old Nintendos, which was just like a DSi. Yeah.
Yep, I
It's
still
like
got mine.
Simpsons.
I still got
It
mine.
was. Oh, you cool.
Yes, it's in my
Nice.
it's in my closet. Yeah.
Cool. Family member who's watching this, I would like my DSi back, please. I know it's been years, but I want it back. Thank you. But all I remember playing on my DSi was cooking games. I remember, what's her name, Mama Mia or
Cooking Mama.
Cooking Mama. Memories. Somehow I think my mom found like it's called Penguin something. Club Penguin. I love that one. And Percy Jackson and Lightning Thief, like it was cool because it was heavy on the fighting. It was less like if you knew the story, you understood why you were going to different locations. But that's one game I really do miss. Oh, and Bejeweled. Bejeweled was
I like Bejeweled. I still play it till this day.
I had some type of Zelda game, but my siblings stole it before I could finish it. So
Man, your siblings just keep taking things from you. Man.
see, this is what happens when you're nice. Don't be nice. Yeah.
Shoot, on the DS, I had this weird game. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it was called Superhero Ogre. Combos were the best. You can't get the game anymore since they shut down the Nintendo DSi services, but man, whoever made that game, shout outs to them. But
Is that the one where you like wall characters?
nah, it's basically like this I don't know, some super space guy that like is on a mission and you have to attack these like, you know, clones or whatever, and they explode. And then once you beat enough of them, you have to face a boss and you can do a super, and then you just do that multiple times. It's like Streets of Rage, but nobody knows what it is. Nobody knows what it is.
I was thinking. Yeah, I probably don't know what it is. I was thinking more like party classes. We have like different colored characters, and they were like fighting almost like Streets of Rage.
Yeah, it was.
That's not DS.
Yeah, if you look it up, there's probably some video out there. Yeah.
I never owned a Game Boy. My cousin, my favorite cousin, shout out to my favorite cousin, he had a Game Boy. And the only game I got to play on it was like Scooby Doo, like the old one. So that was cool.
Oh man, Scooby Doo. Oh.
Did you have a game?
I had Game Boy once. I still have it. I just don't remember if it's a color or advanced. It's a square one that you flip. But and
the
I
SP.
charge for it. My DS running right now off of a charger.
Dope. My next question for you is, can you walk us through the process of organizing a tournament or event at your local game center? Any behind the scenes you can share?
Behind the scenes, okay. Well, we did move into a new place, and I'm glad we did because it was very expensive to hold at our last place, which don't be afraid of costs, but it's part of the business, and I think, as important it is as community, we need to make sure that we are developing ourselves as a business so we can keep going. But some of the stuff that we do to upkeep said business is, the first thing that we do is we set up, obviously. We set up the tables, the stream, and, put our signs up, things like that, and let people know, that we're open. And then I set up, my laptop, which is this, and make sure people sign in. They pay for whatever they played for. I let them chill for a little bit. Let them know that we're starting a little bit. We have drinks, snacks, things like that, and then we just have some announcements, and then just get things started. Nothing too shabby, and then we just kind of go through the bracket. And, the essential part about this whole thing is making sure people like communicate with us, which is the hardest part, if you can imagine. People tend to be very locked in and don't report their scores, so I don't know who wins or who loses sometimes, and then we gotta ask them, whatever. Some people get on a setup without us knowing, so we would call a match and there's no setup available. But that's just one of the minor things that you'll go through when you're just starting. You don't have a lot of setups. But one of the things that we also do is we have a storage space that we have to keep some of our things and invest in ourselves. So we're buying consoles strictly for us. It's not like we can take it home. It's for the local. We have a lockbox that we have the money that we put in. Only we know about it. We don't tell anybody where it is or what the combination is. And then after the night, we pack up and then we pay our person that we are renting the building from. And then we do that every second and fourth Sunday because we are bi-weekly. And then we the things that we don't talk about a lot is the stuff that you do after the tournament. Having a meeting, going over stuff that we did, trying to track, finances, trying to make sure that the people that we see coming in a lot are taken care of so that they come back and spend more. And people that we see that are new, make sure we reach out to them to make sure they come back. We post on social media. I'm the social media guy, as you guys have experienced. I do lots. I take the stream and then I chop them up into content that people can watch and say, hey, I want to come out to that. Try to be active as possible. Discord, things like that. But other than that, it's pretty much nonstop because some of the things that I'm passionate about, I really want stuff like this to work. So I don't really, just only do this on Sundays and Mondays and Tuesdays. I'm really looking out for it every single day, which is why, as I was at an anime convention this weekend, and I took the opportunity to get our flyers out there in the game room and try to get some more people out there.
Networking. Nice. Thank you. So that leads me to my second question, or whatever, how many questions this has been. Yeah. How do you foster a welcoming and inclusive environment for all players of all skill levels and backgrounds? Kind of answers, but...
Well, yeah. To put it simply, the best thing to do is to make sure you know who's good at what. Because some people may not be good at communicating or conversation. So that's kind of where my strong suit is. If I know someone is new or isn't too used to an environment, I have a great environment sense to let them know, like, hey, I was where you were at one point, but also just getting them comfortable with simple things of interest. Obviously we're here to play games, so that's, the iceberg right there. But most of the time, most of the things that work, which is a little, some secret tips I'm going to display here, is music. So a lot of the times, if you can relate to someone, they're pretty much going to open up way quicker So music is where I go to if they're not really into the same games as me. And a lot of the times we can just go crazy on like, oh, I didn't know you listened to, whatever. I mean, fake it till you make it. There's a lot of times I'm talking about Taylor Swift. I have no idea what song it is. But if usually if it's a song or it's an artist that we both like, cash. So then I can swoop that into other things, and that leads into games, and that leads into, you know what, I really enjoyed this person. Make sure you remember their name, and then yeah, it's pretty much easy money from there. Like for us, as an example, we have the wrestling background thing. We could go crazy with whatever. I mean, I'm sure we're gonna get into that later, but yeah, wrestling. I have a GTS shirt on right now under this, but it's pretty cold in here. So yeah, that's my strong suit. The other guys that work with me, they are good at other things. Some you have to know who to give things to, and some you have to make sure you keep an eye out. And that's what's important about making sure things run effectively. And a lot of the times you have to check your own ego, which I've had to do a lot of the times, which it sucks, and you have to swallow that pill. But just know that the greatest thing that I got, or the greatest advice I got from one of my business partners was that you have to make sure your job is to make sure that everybody else is having fun, not you. Because a lot of the times we want to participate in the bracket as well, but that's not really what we're here for. We have to make sure that, there's a lot of people playing Street Fighter, but there's people playing Grand Blue that may not really feel supported. So I'm going to do what I can to know everything about Grand Blue and make sure they know, like, hey, I see you guys playing over there. How about we put you guys on the stage this time, Things like that. Little things can change tremendously for running a local, especially when you're not stuck to one game, pretty much like Smash Brothers tends to be. No disrespect, but it's a lot easier for them.
I was thinking of other games that don't get as much popularity, like Grand Blue, Guilty Gear, Skullgirls.
The only hard part about that is finding people that play these games. So that's usually the basis of why we don't run a game. It's about trial and error. To me, I didn't really care about Grand Blue, to be honest with you. It's not my type of game. But again, it's one of those things where I had to take the focus off of what I wanted and see if there's a community out there. And lo and behold, it was our second, highest attending bracket that we had. So now I'm like, hey, man, let's run this every week. See, now I'm excited about it because I know it's going to bring more people in and they're going to spend more money. So not that it's all about money, but it's just one of the plus. Yeah, it's one of the plus sides of taking care of your community and making sure that they care. Because to me, that's what I felt. In long story short, I was in a separate community. I had a lot of ideas I thought were cool, thought were great. They did not really feel like those ideas were of value, and until I proved them wrong, but they still did not, really see it as an asset. I got angry, left the community, wanted to start my own. So, and I wanted to make sure that I don't want someone else to feel like that to my stuff. So that's why I try to work hard to make sure I appreciate all the games that we have. But again, it's a learning process, and yeah, and it's been working out so far.
That's great to hear. I think my last question for this section before X comes to, if you guys want to jump into
Wrestling.
Right. What resources or support do you provide for players who want to level up their game, like in skills, maybe like some coaching or some one-on-one time? Has anyone ever asked you for that?
All right, so
Would you do like training sessions or coaching with them if they wanted it?
Yes, but see, here's where I would want to be careful with, because just like in school, there's different ways to teach someone that don't work for everybody. And the mistake that I think a lot of people go through is that they think that you need the best player of this game with the best knowledge and the most streams and whatever. And you need to know this frame data, the knowledge, you need to know like the character specifics, you need to know how to punish, you need to whatever. I don't think that's the best way to teach someone that's just starting. Now, if they want to seek out that information, by all means, go ahead and go grab it. Because I'm not a numbers guy. I don't. So, in Tekken is a hard game from what I've heard. To me, it's not hard, but other people say it's hard. And a lot of the times, when you hear someone say like, "Oh, this is -10, you can punish that," I don't know what they're talking about when they say -10. I don't, play the game and just memorize numbers and know that that's -15, that's whatever. So the way that I go about it is step by step. If I wanted to teach you guys how to play Street Fighter, I would really start out with key things that you would need to learn as a foundation, which is one, movement, character comfortability, and also just like a sample combo. So the reason why I choose these three things is because you don't want to learn too much and not know what you're doing in the end, because some people can learn all this stuff and they still don't know what they're doing or how to implement it properly. They're just doing the same stuff. So how to move is important, because a lot of the times people online will knowledge check you. That's the term we use. And they're going to do stuff to see if you know how to get out of it, because they'll purposely be doing a move that has an answer. And if you don't know the answer, they're going to keep doing it. And that's something that's going to prevent people from having fun. So if someone was like doing something with Zangief, and then you ask me, how do you get out of this? And I say, oh, all you got to do is just jump. But you wouldn't have learned that if you don't know how to move. So you got to be able to move back and forth, block, crouch block, and stuff like that. And then secondly, picking a character that you like. Now, of course, there are some corny characters, there are some cheap characters, and there are some bad characters. But I will never fault somebody for playing or picking a character, even though I don't like them, based just because, they think they're cool. Like, there's a character in Tekken I hate. His name is Lars. I hate Lars. He's very random. But to some people, he looks cool because he's, like, very, like, ninja-type stuff. He has lightning. He reminds people of Sasuke. Whatever. But if people like that character, that means they're going to have more of a reason to stick with the character. Because some people will just choose a good character, but they could be super hard to play and they don't have any fun with the character. So, I mean, if that character is fun to you, then sure, pick him. But I would say character comfortability. Try different people. Try different styles. Try, a woman. Try a man. Try a bear. Try a alien. I don't care what it is. Just try different people and see which ones you like. And when you like them, then you get to learning combos. Start small. Step by step is launcher, filler, ender. It can be three moves. There are things in place that the game has nowadays that gives you that leeway. I don't think that's too helpful, but as a start, you could probably just use, like, Street Fighter has modern controls. But
I heard a lot of flack about that. Like, OG players were like, this trash.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't know.
It's annoying when Street Fighter 6. It just makes it easier for you to do abilities and combos. Like, I only use it when I'm using a grappler like Zangief, because getting caught in his moves is annoying. Or Melissa.
yeah,
For the classic controls.
yeah.
Right, I don't mind doing to learn combos. I don't. Especially if it's not even helpful. Like, why edit shortcut is not helpful?
modern controls, modern controls can assist you in some way, but I wouldn't say that's that's the permanent way you should be using your controls, in my opinion. It could show you what combos should look like, or if you have a trouble time doing a motion input, then sure. But that's where, you exceed to that next level when you get to that level. But other than that, you stay where you're at until you feel comfortable going into the other stuff. But, but just for the essence of time and stuff like that, I would start off with those three. There's other ways I can break it down, but that's where I would go at. That's a good start, especially if you're gonna prolong a game that you feel like you want to get good at. Just start with those. Don't worry about frame data. Play with people at your level. That's another thing. And friends, of course, but play with people at your level. Don't try to play someone that is super experienced. You're not going to learn anything. You're not going to have fun. People like to give you the wrong information on purpose. People like to gatekeep. That's not cool.
Right.
But people at the local will also give you advice, but I don't know. Sometimes it depends who you ask. Some people like to show you things that you don't even understand yet, or they'll say terminology that you don't even know yet. And you'll learn that as time goes on, and it takes years to get good at it. So don't expect that once you learn these things, you're going to be instantly a Tekken God Prime or a master. It's going to take time. So just know that it's not going to be quick. As the quicker you realize that, the sooner you'll be able to fully grasp any kind of fighting game.
So now we're going to transition to wrestling. How long have you been a WWE fan?
I pretty much remember my first wrestling experience in 2006. I used to. There was a time period where I lived with my dad. My dad is from the South. He lives in Georgia, and a lot of the times in the summer, if we wanted to get out the house, we'd go to her grandma's house, and she had cable. A lot of the times she loved watching MASH. She loved watching Shirley Temple, and she loved watching Family Feud. But at night, we would watch. We would just flip through stuff because we didn't know what was on. And then in this particular time, we came across Monday Night Raw, and I remember the episode. It was, I'm gonna try to keep it, PG, but do you remember the episode where Edge and Lita were in the ring and they were about to go crazy with each other?
Yeah, I remember that episode.
Okay. So that was the episode that I was first introduced to, coincidentally. And if people don't know what I'm talking about, ask your parents. So yeah, we saw that, and I was like, "Whoa, what is this? What is this?" And then Ric Flair comes out, and then I just saw this old man just doing this stuff, and then John Cena comes out. Didn't know who he was. I thought he was super cool, and things like that. So then that got me hooked. I wanted to know what it was, and obviously it was Raw. Had to find it when I went back to my mom's house. And then, and I'd say around 2007 is when I really got hooked. I used to live in Corpus Christi, so I watched it every week. And this was an important time because this is when the one tragedy happened with the one wrestler. We were actually going to go to a show, but they had to cancel it because they did the thing. This was like after Vince McMahon blew up in his limo, if you remember that. So the week after, the one tragedy with the one wrestler happened. We were going to go to the show, me and my brother. They canceled it last minute, and then they found out that he murdered his family. So it was pretty much like done from there. But I, was pretty active since then on. Haven't watched it watched it recently, like religiously, like I used to, but I'm still like in the ins and outs of it. So I would say about the last 13 years or so.
I'd say for me about 16 years. I started watching in 2008 around WrestleMania 24. My dad always put on Friday Night SmackDown. I don't remember the first episode, but I grew up liking Rey Mysterio, John Cena, Undertaker. I believe I became more of a fan like 2010. I think the first time you ever got to see WrestleMania was WrestleMania 27. I know it was the worst one, but my auntie was hosting the watch party. It was cool seeing Edge versus Alberto Del Rio, and then he smashed his car, seeing the Rock host, and we finally get to see him and Stone Cold reunite with a handshake in Atlanta, Georgia. I know, I couldn't stand a stupid. Why was Michael Cole fighting Jerry the King Lawler in that stupid laptop under a glass with a secret general manager? It's ridiculous.
No clue. That was a very hard time for WWE, I will say.
But that was the end of the Ruthless Wrestling and start of the modern era. But I was enjoying it from 2008 to 2012, 13. I want to say I stopped watching it like 2014 because I was getting ready for high school, so I stopped watching. So I missed out on some prime Brock Lesnar, CM Punk just left, the Seal started. I missed the Icon Sting coming to WWE. I told that was good. But I started getting back into it in like 2022, 2023 with like Cody Rhodes coming back. Roman Reigns being like the big dude now.
Wow, I graduated high school when you stopped watching. Crazy. I think I stopped watching around 2014 as well because I don't know, there was new stars there that I didn't really care about. Like I didn't care about Sting. I didn't care about Seth Rollins. I didn't care about Roman Reigns. I mean, Dean Ambrose was my favorite out of the Shield. But I was
around the time the streak ended for Undertaker.
Oh yeah, I didn't care about that. I didn't care about that at all. It wasn't that great of a match, but the moment is.
You know, like WrestleMania streaks.
No, there are some really good matches, and there are some really bad matches involving the streak. For one, Giant Gonzalez. Nobody liked that one. King Kong Bundy was not good. I don't think the match with Kane was good. Both times.
The mask one, both of them.
Both
Okay.
of them. Him with the handicap match at WrestleMania 19. Like why? But there are some good ones, like Batista. Shawn Michaels the first time. Triple H, I want to say the first time that people seem to forget. I don't know why, like they forget about that. I'm not a fan of Hell in a Cell matches. They seem to drag on, so that's why I don't care. Oh, the second time as well, WrestleMania 27. That was the only thing on that card that was amazing.
Yeah. But not the Hell in a Cell for HBK as a special ref.
No, because, like, it just, I don't know. I don't like how slow they can be. I'm a fan of storytelling, but sometimes extreme matches that are trying to tell said story, they don't like live up to the hype that they can if it's supposed to be a Hell in a Cell. Like, when I think of Hell in a Cell, I'm thinking we're tearing it up in there. Like everything's supposed to be like dangerous, but it's really just a slow paced match where you can't leave. And the thing with Brock Lesnar was that he was very dominant. So I kind of was like halfway through the match, like, oh man, he's actually about to lose. And then he lost. So I was like, oh, okay. I mean, it was a shock because I thought he was just gonna keep going, but But then I was like, oh, well, it was Brock Lesnar. I don't know who else could have beaten the streak if he would have won after that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, there were talks like maybe Edge ended the streak back in WrestleMania 24, but he didn't want to. When I think of Hell in a Cell, I was thinking back to like last year at WrestleMania 39 with Edge versus Finn Balor, because that was a really good one. Like they didn't escape the cell; they were using a lot of weapons. Finn Balor was bleeding a lot.
Yeah, that's what I would want to see from Hell in a Cell. Like for me, I like it when they escape and they like jump off the cage, but yeah, you can't do that every time. My well, I'm definitely gonna ask you, and I mean I don't know if you watch wrestling as well, but I'm gonna ask, what is your favorite match? It could be from WrestleMania or not, but what's your favorite match?
Favorite match.
Or top 5, because I know that's gonna be hard. But top 5. What's your top 5?
It's gonna be hard to think of that.
What are you thinking? I don't watch wrestling, but I've always been around people who are into wrestling. So sometime in high school, I was dating someone who was like a huge fan of A New Day, and yeah, I thought they were like weird. I don't understand wrestling, but I brought a ticket for like, what are we going to?
The final SmackDown before Mania and Hall of Fame ceremony.
I'm the type of person that like, I won't say I don't like something until I've tried it. So I'm gonna go see people beat up each other.
I'll be at WrestleMania as well.
Cool.
The Saturday or the Sunday?
I'm gonna go both days. So
nice.
I mean, I'm still getting used to it being on 2 days instead of one like it used to, but so I'm gonna be looking for you guys.
Definitely.
I could only afford the Sunday.
Yeah, I know I saw the tickets and I was like, man, I gotta make sure I save for this.
Since I'm not like as informed about wrestling as you guys, I have like 2 questions.
Yes.
What are your top 2 wrestlers that are people of color? Because I would like to know.
Ooh, that's a cool question.
Are there any wrestlers that are like, besides Randy Day, like they're the only ones that I know about?
Okay, yes, I have a lot of viable, because there are a lot of black wrestlers, but they're kind of trash. Like, for example, like the person that I don't think you should ever like look up in terms of like match quality is Ahmed Johnson. He is not a good wrestler. Or Viscera. He's not good either. But you said 2 wrestlers, right, of color?
Right.
Okay, so the first one, I'm going to go, old and new. So the first one I'm going to say you should definitely, I would say that I think was cool is he teamed with Rocky Johnson. I forget his name.
Tony
Atlas. Tony Atlas. Yes.
Tony Atlas. Yeah.
Tony Atlas. Tony Atlas.
He worked with Mark Henry.
Yeah. Tony Atlas in his prime was a fantastic wrestler in the 70s and the 80s. He may not have been super successful like, someone of like The Rock or, people like that. But tag team wrestling in the 70s was a big deal. I would say just from a historical standpoint, I would put him there. But from a newer half that I would say is entertaining at least, MVP.
But I like MVP.
MVP, that's his name?
MVP Montavious Porter. I think he was in the old days, not like new MVP where he's like the old man. But
I like it.
Like he used to be the United States champion. He used to be in a rivalry with, I want to say, The Miz or Mr. Kennedy, something like that.
I remember Mr. Kennedy.
Yeah.
He always had that mic that come down.
Yeah. So, but someone that I would say that is pretty overall fantastic as a black performer is Shelton Benjamin. He's a full package. He could do it all, and he's been around for a long time. So those are I gave you an extra person, but yeah, Shelton Benjamin would be like the top.
Oh, you said Shelton Benjamin?
Yeah.
Oh, I like him.
Cool. What about you, X? You got any for me? Because I'm gonna take this. My bad for cutting you off, but as we said, we're gonna go to this thing, and I'm the type of person who, of course, I'm very open minded, but I would like to go in with knowing something, you know.
Yeah.
Like I'm just gonna be walking into a whole new world. So let me do some research. Let me at least have like some type of knowledge of what I'm about to like walk into.
Well, he's Mexican, but I definitely got to put Rey Mysterio at the top.
Rey Mysterio, of course, heard him.
For old school, I would put Ron Simmons from APA and the Nation of Domination. You know, the guy that always says damn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And your last one?
Mark Henry, the world's strongest man.
Gotcha.
Who is legitimately strong, by the way. It's not just a moniker.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Cool.
What's up, matches? The newer one, Cody versus Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. Like how he held it in, even though Brock Lesnar was more dominant in the match. I vaguely remember this, but John Cena versus Randy Orton for the WWE and the World Heavyweight Championship. Cena versus Punk for the WWE Championship, where he won and ran away with it.
Yeah.
This is hilarious.
Money in the Bank, yes, sir.
I had to pick one Undertaker match. I don't know. I feel like everybody would say HBK, but I feel like I liked Edge better. Because they had more rivalry at the time. And I definitely got to say Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy versus Edge and Christian versus Team 3D, the Dudley Boys.
TLC 2. Already have had my list for a long time. So, my list, number 5, Backlash 2007, the Fatal 4-Way match for the WWE Championship. Rated RKO, Shawn Michaels, John Cena. Go look that up for an interesting storytelling match. Number 4, Triple Threat match, WrestleMania 24. Randy Orton, Triple H, John Cena. One of my favorite matches. And also, Randy Orton, one of my favorite entrance themes. Wish he still had it, but...
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Let's see, number 3. Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 25. That's always going to be on that list. This one is also a shocker to most because it's so specific. But the Raw episode, I think it was June of 2007. The Iron Man, the match between John Cena and Shawn Michaels that turned out to be an Iron Man match, but it wasn't an Iron Man match. It was just a regular match.
I never knew they had an Iron Man match together.
Well, it was supposed to be a regular match, but they had to like stretch the show, so they had a match that went on for 60 minutes. And it was amazing. It was amazing, and it wasn't planned.
They don't do this anymore, but back in the day, they used to have Iron Man matches. It would go like for a certain time, so 60 minutes, 40 minutes, 20 minutes, and there's usually no disqualifications. Usually, you can have like multiple wins in a certain amount of time, like pinfalls or submissions.
Was there any particular reason why it was called Iron Man matches?
Well, it was to test your stamina to see how long you could go. But in this particular match, this was supposed to be just like, a 10-minute, who's-y, what's-y, whatever. But because, so I don't know what the story was behind it, but they just kept going. And then it was like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. And they were still wrestling. And, that one was so unexpected that only those, I've never seen it happen again, because usually matches like that are planned and they're only saved for pay-per-views, so you have to pay to see them. But that was on Raw, like free TV, and I don't know, it was just like a once in a lifetime thing. But my favorite match of all time is Edge versus Mick Foley at WrestleMania 22. That's my favorite match.
I think about all Foley's hardcore matches. I look back at him versus Randy Orton. What was your first live WWE experience, or your first live WWE show?
It was a house show on September 3rd, 2011 in New Jersey. Alberto Del Rio was the champion, or CM Punk was the champion. He was going to face Alberto Del Rio. And, it was one of those, like, non-televised shows, so you got to see, like, people be up close and stuff. I got to see CM Punk. I got to see, because we were near the entrance, so I got to see CM Punk, John Cena, Zack Ryder, some guy from NXT that I don't remember.
In my first experience, I remember two shows, I think in the same year. I can pull it up while I'm at it. I went to a show like around the Super Bowl time in 2011. And Cena was there, Punk, Mysterio, Del Rio, Kofi Kingston, Kane. They had Battle Royale. Then I remember another one with SmackDown with Alberto Del Rio, same as Edge cut his hair. Daniel Bryan and Kane were in a weird tag team.
I haven't been to any other events besides the Royal Rumble in 2015, so that's why I'm pretty excited to go to WrestleMania.
Yeah, they had a Super Bowl day, WWE at Philadelphia, February 6, 2011, and then the SmackDown, September 21st, 2012. So it's been, I feel like I saw one more, like in 2013 for Raw, but I can't remember at the top of my head, but those are the only two I went to.
I have no idea what. My mom brought tickets for my two brothers to go to like a WWE something, but like it must have been before 2015 because they were younger than me.
Yeah, because I was looking it up from the picture you sent me. Was it 2017, 2018? And it looked like a NXT.
I have no idea.
It looked like the NXT takeover before the Royal Rumble was hosted in Philadelphia. I think it was 2018.
I can try next, my brother. But yeah.
I have an interesting question. This was something I ask pretty much all my guests. Do you remember your first video game you ever played?
I think my first ever one was Lego Star Wars for the GameCube.
Yes.
I know mine was on my DS. I'm gonna safely say it was either like the Percy Jackson fighting game I was talking about or Cooking Mama.
I always used to watch my brother play the PS2, play Madden 2005 and SOCOM, but when I finally got my console, the first game was Lego Star Wars, because I was such a Star Wars fan. I enjoyed the movies.
I have a lot of, not personal experience with Legos, but like my siblings, they were the gamers before. Like they would game and I would watch them. And then slowly it became like, all right, Leash, like go ahead, you can do this real quick. Like, so they started off with a lot of Lego. They had Lego Dimensions, which was crazy. I liked it. It was interesting. A lot of different Batman Lego games. But Lego Dimensions was my favorite because it had so many different characters. I remember my favorite was like The Simpsons. I like that. And I loved like watching them play Uncharted. It was cool.
Wow. Yeah. I love Lego Star Wars. I had it for the PS2, but my first video game I ever played, and I'm going to show how dated I am. It was a game called Wave Race 64. It was I played it in a latchkey program. So, when you get out of school and your parents can't pick you up right away, You go there. They had a game room or they had rooms separated by age. I was like 6. Nintendo 64 was still hot, and it was just you riding on a Kawasaki in the water. So that was the first game I ever played.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that's cool. That's definitely cool.
I have 2 more questions. Back to gaming. Do you prefer a controller, fight pad with deep stick, or an arcade stick? Because I know like hardcore tournament gamers always come in with like an arcade stick machine.
I'm a pad player all the way. I do not like arcade sticks. I don't like hit boxes. I don't like snack boxes. I don't like any of those things. I don't think you need them to be good at the game necessarily, but it's usually just for a comfortability standpoint. I grew up playing consoles only. Unless you go to the arcade and you have to play, then I can do it. But I'm more comfortable holding it like this than like that. I've tried it. No, it's not for me.
My last question, and unless you have any more questions,
I have 2, but you go first.
Yes.
well, mine's a big one. It was going to be the WrestleMania 40 pre-predictions.
Oh, you have it. Okay, let me see. Uso versus Uso. Okay. I don't know which one is which, but the one that does yeet, that's the one I'm gonna go with.
Yeah, I'm going with main event James.
Okay, so that's Jey Uso. All right, LA Knight. I'm pretty sure he's going to win. Let's see. Is that Sami Zayn versus Gunther? Oh, Gunther. Gunther. Yeah. I don't see him losing to someone like Sami Zayn. That's not a loss I would expect WWE to put on him. I think Logan Paul is gonna win that triple threat match. Yeah. So Logan Paul.
I think Sami Zayn will have a chance. Power-wise, Gunther should win, but maybe they pushing for Sami Zayn lately. The only way I see he could win is if he finds a way, and then they just push for him versus Chad Gable. Because I almost feel like Chad Gable versus Gunther would have been better.
See, here's the only way that Sami Zayn can win is if Gunther loses his title, that means Cody Rhodes has to beat Roman Reigns. So Gunther and Cody can face for the title. Because it would make sense. He eliminated from the Royal Rumble both years. And I think it would be a nice little setup there. All right, let's see. Bayley, obviously, I think that's an obvious pick. She's going to win.
Yeah, I think Bayley's going to win this time, too. Back to the triple threat. You said Logan Paul. I think Kevin Owens will win this. Since they have a strong rivalry these past months, I think Kevin Owens will win it. I like Randy Orton. He's going to do a lot of RKOs, but I think Kevin Owens should win over Logan Paul. I don't want him to take the U.S. Championship to SummerSlam.
Yeah, I do want to see Logan Paul now that he's not just a guy that just likes wrestling. He actually knows how to do it. Let's see, Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch. This is a hard one because I would assume that her reign is going to continue.
Yeah, it's been a year now.
But I think Becky Lynch is going to take it.
Damn, I think Becky got to win this.
Absolutely.
Also, I'm about to have a book soon.
Book of notes?
No. Her biography book. It just came out today.
I didn't know that was a... Oh, okay. It makes more sense. I'm like, is this an artist I've never heard of? No. Okay. Understood.
And Drew McIntyre, I think he's going to lose. And then there's going to be a cash-in. I don't know if Damian...
I'm not putting either of them. It's so much better that they're going to have CM Punk there as special commentary. But I definitely feel like between him or The Rock, they're definitely going to make Damian Priest cash in. Because I don't like either one of them. It would just be icing on the cake to see Damian Priest cash in.
That would be cool if you lost. And I think that to make up for the win that Cody Rhodes is going to have against Roman Reigns for the title, I think The Rock and Roman Reigns are going to win the tag match. So he goes in the main event Well, yeah, he goes into the main event with confidence, and it's to send for a send off as like you won the battle, but I won the war type deal, and then he can celebrate. Woo, Royal Rumble didn't go to waste again.
I feel like it'll be fair, like with the tag team, The Rock and Roman Reigns should win. It'll be great for Philly after 25 years to see The Rock again. He lost against Stone Cold the first time, and then he wins with his family. And then, but I think for Sunday, do all the trials they're gonna bring with bloodline moves. I still think Cody Rhodes will walk out as champion. I think we missed the the ladder match with the Judgment Day.
I don't know who's in.
I think
I don't know who's in there.
Yeah, they're still doing final matches, but I feel like R-Truth and The Miz are going to win it because they've been pushing R-Truth versus the Judgment Day for a while now. But that would be pretty funny.
Awesome Truth. Okay.
Damian Priest loses the tag team titles just to push to win the World Heavyweight Championship.
I like The Miz and R-Truth. Miz is pretty good. I like Miz.
Also because that would be perfect for Miz because he's been taking a lot of L's last year. This would be great for him to get one win.
See what awesome bangers you have left for me. I love these questions. I usually never get to answer questions.
So can I ask you another?
Yes, that's all my questions.
Ask me as many as you want.
All right, I'll ask as many as I can get in before like our time runs out.
Yeah.
Can you discuss any memorable or unexpected friendships or connections that you've witnessed form among players at your game center?
Yes. Yes, I can. And hopefully I can tell this and do my friend justice. But so the short answer, yes, I did. I met a lot of my friends through tournaments and things like that. But there was one situation where I met someone at a tournament that we end up becoming friends, but we met earlier before we even knew it. And I'm gonna shout outs to my man Adam. So there's this convention in Virginia. It's called Super Smash Con. Huge major. And there was there's something that we were doing, or that I was doing, towards the end of the night. It was called, we were doing rock, paper, scissors money matches. I was winning a lot. I was winning so much. But it started to take a life of its own. Like we started it in McDonald's and we brought it back to the venue. Then a bunch of people started crowding around us, and then it was going crazy. Then a top player joined in. So that brought in even more people. And I lost all my money. I lost all my money to this one guy. He was a Luigi player. And then the person who recorded the video was Adam.
Yeah, boy! Yeah! Yo, you just been dethroned. Good stuff.
I did not know this guy at first. So months later, school starts back up again. And the Smash Club at our school starts. And he's there. And then he's like, hey, I think I've seen you before. It's like, oh, okay. I don't know you, so thank you. And then he pulls up a video of me losing. He's like, oh, that was you? And then, we had a huge laugh about that. And we talk about it ever since then. But yeah, there's a bunch of stories like that, but that one is one of the more memorable ones like that.
Okay, I guess my next question would be, how do you handle disputes or conflicts that arise during like tournaments or gatherings at your game center?
Shut them down real quickly. I mean, luckily we don't have a lot of those, but if we know that they're not involving the game, because usually how most of us in the FGC know that if there's a dispute and it's really about the game, we'll let them go because we know that it's not malicious. Like we like, in some way, shape, or form, some of us like to see interesting competition, So if we see like a match getting hectic and they're like, yelling at each other, we can understand. We take discernment. Obviously, we got to know if they're really going at each other. But if it's really getting like outside the game, it's getting personal, then we just shut it down real quick, separate the two. Luckily, we haven't had something like that yet, but I'm fully prepared to do so, because I've seen the difference. So yeah, we just go over there, shut them down, take do the consequences as needed, and that's that.
What are your thoughts on the Steam Deck?
Steam Deck, I just think
As the newest console in the space, I guess.
I don't call it a console. First off, I think it's just a place. I think it's just a PlayStation Switch. I think it's a PlayStation Switch. An excuse to play the PlayStation mobily. I'm not super.
Some games on the Steam Deck because of Steam, but not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can get a lot of Steam games as opposed to.
My friend Breland has a Steam Deck, and he brings it with me. Brings it with him everywhere. He's into the games that you may be into. Like he's like into Dark Souls. He's into Overwatch. He's into Yu-Gi-Oh, things like that. So he brings it with him. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're so hardcore, but you play all these trash games. I'm like, oh my god. So I think it's more of one of those things where, you want to have something to do, but you don't want it to be like a Switch or a DS. But I don't know. I don't think I would get one because I think I don't need to game everywhere I go. I think it's really just for the house or for the tournament. You know what I'm saying?
Understood. Can you share any upcoming projects, collaborations, or expansions planned for your game center?
Hopefully, we have some aspirations to elevate things that we want to do. One of those things is invitational. I would love to have an invitational. Invitationals are really, really fun. I've had them. I've hosted them before when I used to be in the Smash community, and typically we would invite specific people, not just anyone, and we would hold like special events besides like a main bracket. We'll do like for example, we used to do in Smash. We used to do random characters. We used to do Switch mains. We used to do the story mode together. We would do other games like Mario Party. We do Mario Kart. We do, things that just show us having a good time. Things like that. We'll play games. We'll play like Jeopardy or something like that. So I want to do something like that in the future. I know something that I'm going to implement from the other community that into this community in the future is a Hall of Fame. So, I have a plaque from the Smash community. I want to, as we get our bearings, I want to make sure we can do that as well. And collabs, we have a group that always supports us in Philadelphia, Iron Fist Philly. It's local in Hatboro, Pennsylvania. Amazing group of people that go far and beyond to, give great quality content and experience to the local Philly scene. And they're open, I think, every day for different events. So fighting games are on certain days, Smash is on certain days. I think they do, streaming on certain days. So shout outs to those guys, especially Jeremiah, Fat Boy, Afronomical, Beast, Lyric, all those people down there. Yeah, we want to go to a major. All of us. We want to go take the board members to like an Evo or something and just really have a good time out there playing games like we want to.
So I guess the last question for me. How do you engage with and support marginalized or underrepresented groups within the fighting game community, such as women or like LGBTQ plus IRA players, etc., or people with disabilities?
Well, this is interesting because we haven't even really found a way to tap into something like that just because we haven't had anyone of that nature come by. But if we did, we already know how we would take that into place. So, especially for women, I think we don't see enough women, I guess, feel like they can participate in one of our environments strictly just due to stereotypes. There's a lot of great, powerful, and cool women that play fighting games. Like one of my favorites, Cuddlecore. She's an amazing Tekken player. I would say strictly in like America, a lot of women play games in Japan and Korea, stuff like that. But I would say our best chance to get them inspired is to put them on to some women gamers that play the game and someone they can look up to. And so Cuddlecore, like I said, Pink Diamond, who's from Philly, is a Tekken player as well, and she's also part of the LGBTQIA community. So, and I guess I bet our best bet is to try and maybe like invite them to come, or give them like a discount. Say, hey, we would really love your support here. If you had any interest in our event or a game that you would play, we will let you come. We'll knock off the game fee. Tell your friends, your girlfriends about us if they're interested. It's just a matter of finding them. That's all. I think we have a good community and environment that will support all. It's just that, especially our town, we're very small. But I don't think we would discriminate against them. We just are going to have to put in a little bit more work to try and find more women that play these things and other discriminated communities.
And the last question: has Red Rose ever had like a cosplaying event there, and would you want to have one?
Cosplaying event? No. Yeah. We have never had a cosplaying event. Never really thought about a cosplaying event, but I'd be down to have one. Shoot, I go to anime conventions sometimes. I cosplay, not as frequently as I used to. I need to get something new, but I would love to have one, just to spark engagement. Yeah, I would love to have one.
I wrote that. I wrote that because I've been talking to X about like cosplaying. That is something that I do, but it's not like frequent. I want to get more into it, and I realize that everything has its own culture and everything. So it's just what I would ask. He had a like friend who was some type of cosplaying thing, but like it seems really expensive, and I was just like, never mind. I was just trying to dress up.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's an X-Men mutant event coming next month, later in April, but there's also second annual OtakuCon happening at Cherry Street Pier, yes.
Right. And I was thinking about like maybe I'll dress up as like Zorro because I'm in the process of creating like Enma. I've already made the other two. Or like Cammy, because I love Cammy from Street Fighters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that you guys have to get out of here, so this is I'm glad we've come full circle. This is something I always do on my part of the show called the Speedround. Basically, I'm going to ask you guys a series of questions that may or may not have to do anything with what we talked about, but the key thing here is answer them quickly, and you cannot explain them unless I want to know more. So, this is something I always like to do, and if people have watched it before, they know what is coming. last. So get ready for that one. Okay, so you both can answer and disagree if you want to. Okay, so the first question is, what's better, Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts?
Final Fantasy.
I haven't played Final Fantasy, so.
Okay, what's your favorite anime?
Inuyasha.
Cowboy Bebop.
Water or juice?
Water.
Water.
Do you like hiking or do you like biking?
I'll go with hiking.
I prefer biking though. I haven't done it in a while though.
Favorite book?
Harry Potter, Goblet of Fire.
That is kind of hard.
What kind of book?
It's even harder. I feel like my brain is malfunctioning. Saga. Comic book.
Okay, we'll put people on to that. What's your favorite movie and why?
Avengers Endgame. I just love it. Seeing everybody come together.
The Princess in the Attic. It was the very first book that my mom put me on to, and then I seen a movie, and the movie, it was one of those movies that actually accurately showed the book. So, yeah.
Overwatch or Apex?
Apex.
Like Apex?
Listen, Overwatch to me sucks. You know this.
Well, I suck at Apex, so I'm still going to Overwatch.
Okay. Fortnite or Call of Duty?
Call
Call of Duty.
Wow.
Fortnite.
Okay.
I don't even play it anymore.
Skateboarding or snowboarding?
Skateboarding.
Yeah, I'll go with skateboarding. I don't know how to do it, but I'll go with skateboarding.
Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, or Cartoon Network?
Cartoon Network.
Cartoon Network.
Ooh, thank goodness. You guys chose the right answer. All right. Who is a better big three? Naruto, Goku, or Luffy?
Luffy.
No, it's all.
Someone chose the right answer. I'm not gonna say who. All right. Now this is my favorite part. And this is the last one. Who is better, Michael Jackson or Prince? And tell me why.
I'm gonna say Michael Jackson. I wasn't really exposed to Prince like that, so I would have to do some research. I know he's a GOAT, but I don't know why.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson's always going to be the first one I pull up to dance to.
That's true.
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm so biased, man. You don't understand. Hold on. You have no idea, man. You have no idea. I got records up there. I got a calendar. Love this guy. Well,
my brother used to have a bad it was like bad. It wasn't a poster because it was I don't know what he did with this because now it would be worth so much money. But he had like a bad poster, not poster. It was like it was hard. It was durable, and he also had like a magazine about the Jacksons, and it was like super in detail. I gotta ask him, where is this stuff? Like, I'm afraid that it might be broken and damaged, but yeah, MJ all the way.
Thank goodness. A lot of people have been saying Prince recently, but I'm glad you guys have said it. But before we leave, obviously I know you guys talked about being artists and stuff like that. Do you have any favorite songs that you want to list, and what are your social medias and things like that you want to promote?
As I said, my name is Ailisha. You guys can follow me on Instagram at the Painted Up John. So it's the _, Painted Up _ John. John JAWN. If you're not from Philly, it's a hard one. You know what? One of my favorite artists is Janelle Monáe. I was fortunate enough to see her last year, so it was like a sophisticated house party at the Met. It was great. My favorite song by her right now is Float. I feel like everyone should just be floating. So, yeah.
I can give you the top three.
Okay.
Gorilla's Strobe Light, Judas Priest's The Hellion, and Electric Eye.
Ooh.
and Eminem's Ringa.
Ooh, Judas Priest. Ooh, okay. My favorite, In the Closet, Michael Jackson. Journey, Separate Ways, and Megadeth. Oh man, what's it called? It's
Megadeth is perfect enough.
yeah,
You have passed. You have chased.
I forget the name, but I stopped listening to it a while because I listen to a lot of pop punk and stuff like that. Knuckle Puck is there too. I gotta give them a shout out. A Tout Le Monde. A Tout Le Monde. That's the name of the song. A Tout Le Monde.
This is a really niche band, and I do like rock. Like I like hard rock, alternative, all of it. As long as it's the lyrics make sense and it's like rhythmically moving me, I'm down with it. But this band disbanded. Ghost Town, 2012. Shout out to my emo years. It was the screaming. I never knew screaming could be so tasteful when done right.
Yeah.
Oh, and shout out to 3 Days Grace before they disbanded. Loved them.
3 Days Grace.
Hardcore fan.
Riot.
Yeah.
Yellow Card. Dude, freaking X Juice. Freaking Plain White Tees. Story So Far. And a girl group, by the way. I'm gonna shout out a girl group too. Meet Me at the Altar. I think people should check them out too.
I just
too.
Yes.
It's in my face.
Right.
Yeah. So don't want to leave my ladies out there, but I'm glad you guys were here and spending time with me, man. I can't wait to see you guys at WrestleMania, and then we'll probably talk some more sometime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. I'm trying to cosplay into your like John, so let's work something out. Because I feel like that'd be, and then you can teach me some moves, because or some fighting games, because I'd like to be a better gamer. You know what I mean? When I have more time, I'd like to be a better gamer, or at least fighting gamer.
Shoot, I feel privileged that I get to teach somebody. I'm not even the best in my own freaking event. I haven't won yet, but I am. I don't take the humble badge off a little bit, but I am a 12-time Tekken 7 champion. But I haven't won Tekken 8 yet. I haven't won Street Fighter 6 yet at all. But I would love to teach people games.
Thank you for your time. This was awesome, the chat.
Great.
I'm going to drop my handle, Xavion Excellence, Xavion XCELLENCE. You'll find me on Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch.tv.
I will, can't wait to have everybody connect with you guys.
I appreciate your patience. We had a little slow start.
XXC Podcast? Or All Code Podcast, XXC Podcast is on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Audible, and YouTube.
Okay. I can't wait.
Check us out.
Can't wait to check it out.
Cool.
My handles, I'm DJ, but you can find me. Twitter is DoLove9, but it's at kid_Uzumaki. Same thing with Instagram. My Instagram is weird. I took the John Cena route and just start posting random pictures that mean something to me, but if it means something to you, that's great. There's a reason why I post them. Follow Red Rose FGC on Facebook, YouTube, and follow our Twitch. We'll soon be up and running. We don't have any internet at our place, so we can't stream it, but we do upload the matches. Follow our TikTok with the same name, and I can't wait to come back. So thank you guys.
Awesome. Well, you have a good one.
Right. Stay safe.
You too, guys.